Welcome, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making and friends, to another impactful episode. We're about to go through and highlight a melanated married couple, or just go through some lessons that we got. Make sure y'all tap in with the conversation. Queen, where can they go to tap in?
TheeM4Show.com.
Yes, ma'am. And make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. Queen, where can they follow us on Instagram?
TheeM4Show.
Now, if y'all haven't liked and subscribed, it would make the Queen very, very happy. If you can go ahead. Very? What should they do?
You should go ahead and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
It's free and your first step to becoming a millionaire. Go ahead and click that button. And let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
What is going on? Welcome back, beautiful people. It's a beautiful smile, Queen. Welcome back. We are doing a little bit of traveling out of town. If you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, all those good things, it's probably going to sound exactly the same because we stay with the roadcaster on the road.
Stay ready.
You stay ready. You ain't got to
get ready.
All that. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's probably going to be a little yellow.
A little yellow.
It's a little yellow, and it's definitely messing with me, right? Jair was like, it's a little off. I'm gonna edit that, and I appreciate you, Jair. But
I'm always yellow.
You are always gold.
Golden.
You're always golden.
Especially now, it's been hot. I've been going on my walks and my hikes, and I'm a little. I was gonna say it was a mixture of walk and hike.
Goodness,
you heard it here first, folks. Hike, a walk, hike, or hawk.
Let's go with hawk. let's definitely go with hawk. But welcome back, folks, to the M4 show. Today we're gonna talk about habits of millionaires,
Black
millionaires specifically, and this list does come from a YouTube channel called the Black Excellence. It's like excellent. No, I think it's excellent list.
You sure it's not Excellist, one who excels?
Let us know what you think it is. I don't think it's that, to be honest with you, but it's very possible. But they do a YouTube channel. They do lists all the time about 15 places to live, 15 places to invest in real estate, 15 books, 15 habits. They do a whole bunch of lists. So a pretty good channel. But we're going to kind of take a spin off of that and go through those and see how we connect to some of those habits, see what habits you all connect to as melanated married millionaires in the making or friends and community members. But before we get into it, Queen,
yes,
can you please hit the folks with the did you know?
Another one off the dome. Did you know that getting 15 minutes of sunshine in the morning can help regulate your hormones? We were talking about getting out and get your hikes in, your walk hikes.
Please stop. Please stop.
But really, getting outside, what happens when you get outside and your body feels those sun rays on your skin is it actually is able to synthesize vitamin D. Vitamin D is kind of a hot topic right now. It is. Some people actually call it a hormone, but it definitely helps your immune system. It helps it regulate your hormones. And most the kind of the most effective way that we as humans get vitamin D is when our body synthesizes it from exposure to sunlight. So that is why it's really critical for everybody to get outside and get that sunlight on your skin. And it's better to do it early in the morning because it actually helps your circadian rhythms. It helps your body know it's daylight. There are things that happen. There are hormones that sound off. There are detoxification processes that happen when your body knows that it's daytime. So it's important to get your daylight in so that your body can self-regulate and keep your hormones balanced.
Beautiful. Well done, Queen. Off the top? That wasn't bad off the top. Come on now.
When you're a health nerd, you always got some ready.
I'm sure. So speaking of exposure, right? When you go outside, you get exposed to the sunlight. Your body can start synthesizing that vitamin D. I think exposure to wealth, exposure to habits and the lifestyle of the rich and wealthy is the same thing, right? The more you get exposed to it, the more you want it for yourself and the more that you're even able to synthesize or create those habits, those lifestyles for yourself as well. So, it was good. It wasn't my top best, but it was pretty good. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to expose you all and ourselves, right? I haven't read through this full list. I did watch the video, but that was a while ago. But now we're going to actually go through this full list and see how we stack up with these other millionaires, black millionaires, and see if we can, add ourselves to the list very soon.
Because it really is all about the habits.
Yeah.
It was all about the habits. If you're wondering, if you're looking at folks like, man, what separates you and that person? They just probably have a better routine, or, a more consistent routine. It's that extra habit that they're doing that you're not. That's really it. And everything else kind of compounds after that. So make sure you tap in.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the health nerd.
And welcome to the M4 Show. Look, I am so happy and at peace that we are fully transitioned from the countdown to the intro to the outro. It's been a great process. If y'all been rocking with us, you've seen the slow and bumpy road to transition to the M4 Show. We appreciate y'all. Queen.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and start off strong. What is the first habit of Black millionaires?
Well, the first habit, you may be surprised, but the first habit is Black millionaires help others succeed. And I feel like one might think, like, in order to become a millionaire, you kind of need to be selfish and you need to do stuff to make money for yourself. But at the end of the day, what millionaires do typically is they make money helping others do something, right? Be successful in something. So that's number one.
I like that. And I think it kind of adds to our mindset, or our cultural mindset of, if I'm gonna come up, we're all gonna come up. Right. I think when you look at a Tyler Perry put on a lot of different actors and actresses and writers. And yes, he's the one at the top for sure. But when you look at all of the movies, all the TV shows, it's a lot of the same people.
Right.
Wow. When you look at LeBron, right? LeBron, yes, he's at the top, just became a billionaire. Congrats. But even his team are people that he's been rocking with for years, and he put them into positions that they weren't necessarily at the time qualified to be in. But it was like, hey, I'm going places and I want y'all to come with me. So if you're, you see people around you, they got skills, they got talent. Maybe you are the front runner. How can you put the team on your back? How can you highlight other people's gifts? And then everybody's winning now.
Right. So at the end of the day, like, if someone's a millionaire, they have a lot of value. And how one acquires value typically is making themselves valuable to other people. So again, if you're wondering how you can get to that next level, is how can you make yourself valuable to the people around you? So whatever your gift is, right, lend it to your peers, to your family, to your friends, right? If I've got a lot of health knowledge, I lend it to folks, even if they don't want to hear it typically. But yeah. Devon's a business coach. So when people have business questions, they come to him. And so that is a way that he adds value to people around him, like me.
So what I do want to do is, because I think it's a fine line, Queen, including 100%, including me, is you have so much value and so much love in your heart that you want to give your value away for free. Notice that it said it helps other people succeed.
It didn't say for free.
It didn't say I help other people for free, right? So you can have value, you can help other people succeed while still gaining value as well. And I think that's something that the Queen's definitely helped me out with in 2022 is I have the hero complex where it's like, if I can help you, if I think I can do something, I'm going to do it, whether it's for free, for money, you're texting me, you're calling me, hey, I'll do whatever I can, but it takes a lot of energy, doesn't always add to our account. And it's like, sometimes it's helpful, but I think sometimes people don't take the value seriously if it really didn't cost them anything. So yeah, fine line, definitely add value to people, but I think you need to also balance I don't want to say like, are you getting something out of it? But basically be intentional about the value that you're giving out. And it doesn't always have to necessarily be for free.
When you're starting out, it's probably a good idea to do it for free, get that feedback on how you can, improve. But eventually, yes, you do have to start getting comfortable, asking for that return
Yeah,
on your investment into that other person.
agreed. Number 2 on the list, Queen, hit us with it.
This is my least favorite on the list.
Is it
Yes.
the less sleep,
Yes.
all work?
Sleep less and work more. I
Mm,
don't even like the way it's said. Sleep less and work more. Like,
mm. I think that's in comparison. So the full title, if we're being transparent, the full title of this list was 15 things that Black millionaires do that the poor don't.
mm,
Right. So when you look at the direct comparison, it's in comparison to poor people or folks that have lower socioeconomic status, they are sleeping less and they're working more than this group of people. And I feel like I think that's on point.
is it? I feel
I
like
think
so.
so.
I mean, maybe. I guess I'm just thinking about so like the working class. Like I feel like typically is getting up early, having to get to their get to the jobs.
Weekends. We're working class. You're not working typically 7 days a week. You're working
Hmm.
probably 5 days. Some people may be working on the weekends, but then they have the off days during the week. So it's
Hmm.
like, what are you doing on those off days? Most people, right? And we used to be in this boat. Most people are sleeping in on the weekends,
Hmm.
right? It's Saturday. I'm sleeping in until 10, 11. Some people are in the bed till the afternoon,
Yeah.
right? Whereas my new habit is I'm up at almost 5:45, 6 o'clock, even on the weekends, right? Hedge to bed, LeBron James on weekends,
Doesn't change.
his bet Tyler Perry, right?
Yeah.
Oprah, like Bill Gates, like I don't see it, and I don't know. I don't know his lifestyle. I don't see Elon Musk sleeping in.
Hmm.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe. Mhm.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it as a. I assume they've done their research,
Yeah.
but I think but I do also think it's a fine line, and I always, I have a few times expressed my concern for the hustle culture,
Hmm.
because I do think that it is good to have that mindset of always trying to get better, but I do think that there is a line that a lot of folks cross to where now you're just doing stuff all the time and you're not being the most efficient and productive you.
Hmm.
And sometimes it is better to just get the sleep and then wake up feeling refreshed, wake up ready to go with your brain and mind 100%. You're going to get things done faster and more efficiently than if you try to grind it out, sleep a couple hours and then wake up and keep working. Something that could take you 2 hours is now probably going to take you 4 or 6. um so I think that there is a fine line, and just keep in mind that obviously as the health nerd, I do not recommend anybody skip out on sleep. All nighters, it takes you like a week for your body to recover from that. And again, you're like after 1 hour deficiency of sleep, your brain already is at like 25% of
Hmm.
its efficiency if it was to get a full night's of sleep. So just keep that in mind, that just putting in more time does not mean more productivity.
Yeah. What I'm noticing is I get far better quality sleep when I'm not watching TV. Like when the TV's not on as I'm falling asleep.
Hmm.
I did an experiment last night, right? Because I had the TV on, and honestly, the TV wouldn't turn off. So I was like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. So then I just turned the volume all the way down, but then the light was still on.
Hmm.
And then I woke up and like I had a little bit of a headache. I was like not that well rested. But then there's been nights before that where I turn off the TV 100%. I wake up, I feel good. So I don't know if it's the light that my body's seeing and
Yeah.
it's messing with my circadian rhythms. I don't know if it's the sound, if it's a car crash happens in the scene, so then my body feels stressed, so it's not fully sleep. Yeah, even yeah, quality, not over quantity when it comes to sleep, but I
Yeah.
would say yeah, you definitely want to make sure you get that quality Z's
Hmm.
in the nighttime.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for number Trey?
I'm
Let's do it. Number
ready.
3, hit us with it, Queen.
Never stop learning.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Mm,
I think being a lifetime learner is important for anybody, but especially if you do have those aspirations of becoming a millionaire. You always got to be sharpening your skills,
yeah.
learning something new. So I feel like again that exposure to not only like people, but exposure to new information brings new ideas, brings new habits, brings new ways of looking at things. So yeah, I like this one as well. I love the idea of just always. It's not always like it shouldn't always feel like school, but just again, just wanting to learn new things.
Right. I replace learning myself with growing or
Mm-hmm,
developing,
mm-hmm.
right? And I think this can come from travel.
Yep.
This can come from meeting new people. This can come from definitely reading books is on my list. I was reading a book. Go ahead, grab that book that I was reading today.
Some light reading, he
Some
said.
light reading. 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. So far so good. We're trying to grow a brand here. Got to do it. But yeah, whatever learning, developing looks like for you, going to conferences, I think it can look like so many different things. For me, when I think of learning, I do think of school, and it sounds boring to me.
Yeah.
I'm back in the classroom. I'm just listening all day. I'm not experiencing things. When I think of developing, when I think of growing, I think of living a full life,
Yeah.
right? And continuing to just dive in, develop yourself.
You mentioned travel and like thinking back, I think I've learned the most about a specific place when we visited.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to
Thailand.
like, yeah, like yes, taking the tour of Thailand, learned a lot about Costa Rica and
Yeah.
like its natural resources, it being like a zero carbon
It's a
uh carbon
country.
neutral country, the entire country. Like yeah, it's just amazing and it's different. I think it's one thing, like again, like watching a video or like reading something. It's another thing to be
There.
in the rainforest, like looking around
Yeah.
like, oh, this is crazy, like, it's a whole nother experience. So yeah, I think that it does, like you said, doesn't have to come in the form of like the traditional education system where we're sitting, there's a teacher, we're reading a book, we're writing a report. It can be experiencing life, it can be
Yeah.
meeting new people, going on a new bike ride. It can be literally, however you process new information or gain new information and grow from it.
Yes, love it, love it. If you're appreciating the value, go ahead and leave a like for us, please. We appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making, aka the M4 Show on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Much love. And if you have any questions or comments, you're watching live, we see y'all. We appreciate y'all. Feel free to put it inside of the comments. All right. All right. We're gonna get back to the episode in a second, but breathe. If you've ever had a brilliant idea, I'm pretty sure everybody just took a breath right there, right? Because we all have amazing ideas. But I got a question for you. What's stopping you from taking that idea and actually making it into a business, actually executing on your brilliance? My name is Devon Truvel, and in 2018, I was able to create, market, and sell my own product while still working a 9 to 5. And through the years, I've taken the lessons we've learned, the expensive webinars that I've gone to, and the dozens of business books that I've read, and I've discovered 7 simple steps to launch your business. If you're ready to take your business idea to the next level and make it real and start making profit from your passion, head to www.launchitcommunity.com and grab yourself the book. We've been able to make it very simple, affordable, and easier than ever to start that business while still working your 9 to 5. And we take entrepreneurs every single Friday and we talk to them. We teach them about how to use social media. We teach them about how to set up their Instagram account, how to use Shopify, how to use Printful, and other tools that can help you take your business to the next level, but not take tons of time away from your 9 to 5 and your busy life that you already have. So if you're ready to take that idea to the next level, make sure you head to www.launchitcommunity.com, get yourself a book, and join our free accountability calls. Now, let's get back to the episode. Queen, we are on number 4.
Yes. Number 4 is prioritize relationships with mentors. So this is, I think relationships in general are important, but when you look at millionaires, they very much prioritize the relationships with mentors. And I think we've seen this in our lives, but also also in other people's and role models and lives and things like that. But why do you think that that's important?
So, trying to think. I think mentors for me are people that are where you want to be already,
Hmm.
but they are maybe 10 years older, 5 years older. They can be 1 year older, right? But you're basically able to see the future almost. right? Like for example, Walter Anthony Robinson, one of my mentors, RIP. He was a associate vice chancellor. He
Mhm.
had been through the admissions process. He had already worked with universities to create institutional change. Like he had done a lot of the things that I was trying to do as a student. So to be able to talk to him, learn the strategy, see how he moves, get book recommendations from him, get professional advice recommendations, interview, be able to use him as a reference, like all that was able to help me get somewhere faster than if
Mhm.
I was trying to do it by myself. And I think you can see the same thing in podcasting, right? Shout out to Married into Crazy. Like they've given us like really small tips into podcasting that have allowed us to grow faster.
Mhm.
For example, the media release, right? They sent us a media release for their podcast, and I was like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Oh, you need to do this because X, Y, Z." And I asked him more questions, and then now we have a media release on our podcast. So when it does get picked up by Revolt, when it gets picked up by the Black Effect, when it gets picked up by whoever it is, we can own it and we can sell it and distribute it however we please,
Mhm.
right? And if we didn't get that mentorship, we didn't get that key, we would have went through another 100 episodes of the M4 show with no media release. Something would have popped off. We would have like went viral, whatever it is. But then it's like, oh, now we got to go back and get
Mhm.
those signed, or these 200 episodes that we have, we can't do anything with,
Mhm.
which would have been very bad, right? So I think it can speed up your process to where you want to go.
Yeah. I definitely think it's important because I mean that's pretty much the purpose of the mentor, right? Is to have somebody that you can who has accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, that you can pick their brain, you can ask the questions. So I think it is important to prioritize those relationships and make sure you have them and you're consistent with keeping those up, so that yeah, when you need it, right,
Mm.
those people can help you out. But I think it's you gotta prioritize a relationship. You can't ghost somebody for 6 months and be like, hey, by the way, I need
Yeah.
help.
Another thing is, we've heard many times, we've covered it here, but that you're the average of the five people around you. Typically, mentors again are older. Typically, they may have a bigger net worth. They may
Mhm.
already have the house. They may already have the habits that you're trying to adopt.
Right.
Right. So again, exposure, being around people who are married, being around people who own their home, being around people who travel to Thailand, Mexico, and they want to go places, I feel like makes you the odd one out as the mentee,
Mm,
right? In a group full of people who are living the life. And it's like, okay, how can I get that?
right.
Right? I want to travel. I want a house. I want a queen, right? How can I get that? So that's another thing why I think mentorship is very valuable because it forces you to grow and be not be like your mentor, but yeah, grow into that mentorship role.
Yep. Definitely.
Cool.
All right.
Number
5.
5. Let's get it.
Invest more energy and money into personal growth.
Invest more energy and money into personal growth.
Hopefully, I'm going in the order that is on the screen.
So when you say that, what are the things that you see?
Invest more money
Like
into.
I see like going to
I
conferences.
do see
I
conferences.
see being a part of accountability groups, right? Like we're
Mm,
in the Breed University group. You have your Queen to Queen group. We
I
have
see
the
like
Launch It Call, accelerators.
accelerators, like mentorship programs.
You
We've
know,
been through several of those.
school. I mean, like getting your PhD, your master's, your MBA, certificates, like
Yep.
all of that. I think is investing into yourself and self development. We're talking about investing in yourself, and I think it's a mindset thing,
Yeah.
right? You see yourself as valuable. You see yourself as something that is worth investing in.
Yeah.
And some of it could be getting your hair done, getting your nails done. Some of it could be buying new clothes. Some of it can be going to a conference, traveling. It's how do you see yourself adding value to you,
Hmm.
right? We invest in stocks, we invest in what else we invest in? Businesses,
Cryptocurrency.
cryptocurrency. We're investing in all these things, but what about ourselves?
Hmm.
Like what money, what value, what intentionality are we putting into us as a person?
Um, you have anything else on that one? Or are we moving on to numero 6?
I think we can move on to SACE.
Track what they spend.
That is a good one that the queen. Go ahead, queen.
I don't have too much to add to this, except this is something I definitely
Go
need to
ahead,
do.
queen.
I'm not good at tracking my spending. I'm not. I can admit that.
All good. So we did do a budgeting exercise at the beginning of the quarter. No, at the end of Q1, we did like a budgeting worksheet to see
Mhm.
where's money going. But yeah, especially with all these like credit cards, debit cards, Venmo, Amazon makes it easy and fun to spend money. Like everything
Yeah.
makes it easy to send money out, but Shopify makes it fun to hear money come in. When you hear that little ching ching,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, you got a little something, something today. But I feel like it's not fun, it's not sexy, it's not entertaining to budget,
Right.
right? To keep track of it. And it almost feels like constricting. Like once you write it down, even though we weren't even changing the budget. We weren't like changing anything per se. We were just writing it down. It was still like, oh, we spend that much on groceries. We spend this much on this. We spend. It was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's revealing or if you're judging yourself as soon as you actually
Mhm.
see the money. But again, if you're nervous to write down your budget, if you're nervous to keep track of your spending, it's probably a sign that you
Right.
need to keep track of your spending. Right?
Because you're probably thinking back to a couple of purchases that you just didn't really think before you swiped, and you're like, oh dang,
Exactly.
I got to see all of those actually adding up, and
Exactly.
then you got to take action.
Yep. And something that my dad is really good at, and like as I'm growing, I'm getting closer and closer to my father. I promise
You
you.
are.
This man, he has a whole bunch of spreadsheets about visions, about retirement, about real estate, about found like this nice spreadsheet, very organized, and he's meticulous about checking those spreadsheets like at least every week, if not every day. So I see myself doing that with our budgets now. Like I have our
Mhm.
spreadsheet of our budgets, all the bills that we have, the business expenses, employee stuff, income coming in, and like I'll check that on like a weekly basis now. I'm just like, oh goodness, I'm my father now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But long story short, keep track of your investments, right? Keep track of what's bringing in revenue, but also definitely keep track of where that money is going because there could be some like for us, I think there probably is still things that we need to cancel, but there's things that were a good idea at one point, like
Mhm.
HubSpot, for example. It was like, oh, we're gonna get HubSpot. It's gonna be our brand new CRM. But and then as we're building the business, MailChimp starts adding new features, and then Shopify adds in email. So it's like we bought HubSpot for the emails and the customer management, but now MailChimp does emails and Shopify does emails. So do we need this third service
Right.
anymore? Maybe we can cancel it, right? So by going over your budget, you're able to see where some of the leaking wealth is coming from. Right, $50 a month, $20 a month, $100 a month, and all that can add up to thousands of dollars a year. And now that's an extra trip
Mhm.
that you might be able to take.
Hello. Speak my
I
language.
know, I know.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Queen. Number 7, hit us with it.
Lucky number 7. Have a daily must do or to do list.
Number
Yeah,
7.
I'm all over the place. I apologize.
Jahir's like, what's
I
going
know. He's
on?
like, what am I showing?
Number 7, if it's organized, it should be on that second graphic. But say it one more time, Queen.
Have a daily must do or to do list.
I love this one
I'm sure.
because yeah, I definitely have this. Whether it's a whiteboard, whether it's on a sauna, sometimes I'll just text it to myself. But it's I think waking up with that intention, right? This is what I'm going to do today. This is my goal. This is my focus. Unfortunately, sometimes when I don't wake up with that list, I'm reactive,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, okay, the queen needs this. Okay, granny needs this. Okay, my work needs this. All right, a customer is looking for this. Okay, and then oh, this is on Instagram. This looks entertaining. And then and then next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock and you've done nothing,
Nothing.
right? But
Mm.
the days where I wake up and I write down my list on my whiteboard or I check a sauna, I'm like, okay, I have these 3 things that I really need to do. Let's knock it out. And I usually knock it out within the first 4 hours I'm awake. I feel productive.
Yeah. It is really for me, it's effective because I think having everything in my brain on like it feels overwhelming. It contributes to like for me anxiety when I have all of these things that I need to do just in my head and I haven't written them down. I feel like once I've written them,
Written.
once I've written them down, I can like take a deep breath. I'm like, okay, now I don't have to worry about remembering. I feel like subconscious or consciously, your brain I feel like is worried to forget something. So I
Yep.
feel like writing it down kind of gets that burden off of you. So it's important to write, even if it's like I'm not going to do it right now. Just if you know you have to do something, like just go ahead and write it down, get it on a sticky note. My thing is sticky notes. I'm trying to get to like electronic. He's got me on Asana. He's got me all these tasks. And I'm still just a sticky note type of girl. I got sticky notes everywhere, but I just like to physically write it down. Like that's when I feel like okay, I've got it off my brain and onto into the universe. Is on a sticky note. I'm sorry. That's just how I operate. I just like to be able to take my pen and stroke and cross it out on the sticky note.
My thing is, how many sticky notes have you lost over the years?
Thousands.
We'll never know, right? How many things did not get scratched out?
Thousands.
Oh my goodness. But whatever your method is, sticky notes, whiteboard, Asana, text to yourself, Apple Notes, like just get in the habit of writing down those.
I'm gonna tell on you. Devon has his own phone number saved as Devon from the past.
It's a fact. Yeah.
And he will
Y'all don't know that.
He will text himself in the future. Just
think about say it like that. Right?
So he'll be like, if he like has a to-do list or whatever, he'll send it to himself tomorrow at 8 a.m. But it shows up as Devon from the past. I think that's hilarious.
I think it's very hilarious.
It's very you.
It's very me. And yeah, so in case you don't know, at least in Android, I don't know if Apple phones can do this because I don't have an Apple phone, Markel, and I won't get one, Markel, until you give me one.
Markel.
All right. That man's been trying to get me on my phone for years. Gosh. But in Android, you can literally, just like an email, you can schedule it. So I can, if I have an idea right now, right, I can type it into my phone, schedule it to send tomorrow or 3 months from now. That's what I did with one text, and I got the other day that gave me joy.
Yeah, at that point, you really forgot.
I definitely forgot. But I found like this website that had like really nice clothes for affordable, but it wasn't time for me to spend money on clothes at the moment, right? So I sent a text to myself, when the time is right, go to this website. when the clock hits 3 and the dust has settled and the blue dove. No?
Extra.
All I do. Go to this website and purchase clothes, right? And I sent it 2 months, right? So then 2 months later, I get this text from Devon from the past. When the time is right, go to this website to buy clothes. I'm like, oh, thanks, Devon.
I'm sorry. Side note before we keep going. So I started a new job. This is like one of my first job right out of college. And there was a guy named Jesus there. And I met him and we exchanged numbers. And then later on, but he took forever to text me. So then like 2 weeks later, I get a text. I get a text and it's like, hey, this is Jesus. And I was like,
Jesus, you text?
I was like, what is happening? It took me the full day of being like, how do I text back? What do you say to Jesus if he texts you? I was
you don't
just like,
ghost Jesus. I'm gonna tell you right now, Sinclair, in case this happens again, you do not ghost Jesus. Please.
But like, what do you say?
Prayer hands. Thank you for sacrificing yourself for our sins. There's a long list. Okay.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, that threw me off. It took me a while until I was like, oh, Jesus, bruh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's funny.
All right. I know Jair's cracking up.
Yeah, probably.
Jair and Grandy are just rolling. Number 8, Sinclair. Get us back on track. Number 8.
Don't ghost Jesus, folks. Number 8 is do not watch TV. I'm sorry, Jair. Every time it's wrong.
And this was a team collaborative effort. You were doing one thing, Rajel was doing another, I was doing another. So, things happen. But don't watch TV.
Yeah, this was another hard one where it was like, at all?
Right.
I don't know. And it didn't say in the video, it didn't say like they don't watch TV at all. It was they don't watch typically more than an hour of TV a day.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, looking at that's not terrible, but I mean, yeah, because I mean, if you got a lot of things to do, you're not typically spending time doing something that is not going to bring you more value or more money.
Right. And I could say, there's no shade to you. I feel like when I was living solo, I probably didn't watch any TV.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I would work, I would wake up, I would do TH4 stuff, I would edit videos. I was in a cryptocurrency hole at that time, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos for sure, but I had no cable. I think you had the Netflix account. I don't know if I had the password back then.
Yep.
I'm cheap, so I wasn't paying for a whole bunch of extra apps. So I was on YouTube for the most part. And I feel like even now we really watch most of the TV at night during dinner time. We'll watch probably hour, 2 hours, and then we're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it makes sense.
Yeah. We used to, I think when we first started, we used to have like the lunch breaks where we used to, and then
that was. So here's the thing. All right, I can talk to y'all, right? We can have our own situation, conversation.
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
Yes. So the queen was working from home, is working from home. I'm working from home. And I think we were in the honeymoon phase of, oh my gosh, we have all this time together. This is so beautiful. Let's have lunch together. During lunch, let's watch TV. Let's watch American Idol. And we can just do whatever we want because we're both working from home. And it was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. But I think watching something during lunch turned into, well, since I'm already here watching something, I can just work during lunch, and that turned into this 2-3 hours of watching TV in the middle of the day. And then we would be done, have dinner, and then during dinner we're watching more TV. So there was like maybe a month, 2 month phase where we were watching probably 4 to 5 hours of TV per day. And I feel like in the back of my head it kind of bothered me, but it also didn't, because it was a new experience for us. And I was just like, oh well, this is cool, let's enjoy this. Not doing that anymore.
No, sir.
No.
We didn't even eat to lunch together multiple times this week.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Here's your salad.
Yep. Let's grub. Let's work. Let's get it done. Because I think, yeah, that's just the phase I think we're in right now.
Yeah.
We're in a really good momentum. Let's build phase. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get done, y'all. So definitely watch TV. I'm not saying don't watch TV, but I would say be intentional about that TV watching. And if you are striving to build something, it is very difficult to build something with quality, with intention, while you're also watching TV.
I've said this before, but multitasking is not a thing. But like Devon is very convinced that he is the world's greatest multitasker. Multitasking is not a thing. Okay, your brain cannot focus on more than one thing. Okay, but you can get really good at switching tasks really quickly, but that is very tiring. And I feel like it just makes the job harder. So if you're watching TV while working, you're not actually watching TV while working. You are switching back and forth every couple seconds from paying attention to whatever you're watching to then working and then going back to paying attention. And you're just doing that over and over. Very tiring. And I feel like I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but it's draining to multitask. I feel like you could do something and at the end it's like, oh goodness, that took a lot out of me. But
3 hours.
Right. It takes forever. And it's just because, yeah, your brain is just switching topics over and over, back and forth every couple seconds.
Yeah. What I do very well, I think, and I wrote about this in my book, Launch It, 7 Steps Launch Your Business. Go ahead and get that, launchthecommunity.com, plug, is time stacking and staging, right? I talk to you about order of operations all the time, right? I think if you have tasks that you need to do throughout the day, there is a perfect order to do those things the most efficient way possible. I think so. And I kind of got that idea from, I read another book back in like 2017 called Algorithms to Live By. And it literally breaks down how you do things, how you do actions, how you make decisions. So I think within your day, if you have 3 things to be done, 4 things to be done, there is the most optimal order to do those things in. And I think, again, I don't know the math on it, but I think I found typically the most optimal order to do tasks in, to be able to do more things within less time.
So are you going to share it with the folks? Like you got the secret sauce? Are you
just
saying
to read that book? It's in the book.
Oh, it's okay.
You didn't read my book?
I thought I did, but I'm not remembering the section.
This episode is over. No, I'm just kidding.
I got to go back to that chapter, folks.
Read that book. It's called, the chapter is Master Your Time.
Got you. Well, go read the book.
Yeah, go get that, right? Adding value, but it doesn't always have to be for free.
That part. You on here for free, so.
Boom.
Okay, we are on number 9.
Nita.
Income streams, Jair. Number 9 is have at least 3 income streams.
It's on there. Come on, it lined up. All right, at least 3 income streams. And you talked about this recently when we were covering Steph and Aisha.
Yeah.
Why are streams of income important?
Because the market is everything's gonna change, right? Nothing stays the same forever. So whether it's a job, like if you are working for someone else, there's no real thing as job security, because at the end of the day, your company could go under tomorrow and you could be jobless.
Unless you're working for M4, we're going all the way.
Yes, we are. But yes, if you're working for someone else, if you're getting a salary, then there's always the risk that something can happen with the company, or layoffs, whatever. You can't control that part. But even with like real estate and other investments, right, it's a market, so things go up and down. There are things that you are not going to be able to expect or always necessarily plan for. But if you have there's recessions, right? If you have a diverse portfolio of income, then you should be okay, because the likelihood of, all of your, income streams crumbling at once is very low. But if you have some money in real estate, and then you have some money in stocks, and you have a salary, and you have a side hustle, or a business that you run at home, but you have all of these streams of income that will it's very unlikely, maybe the real estate market crashes, but you still have your other income streams. So it's really just kind of making yourself recession proof, if you will, or kind of putting some extra padding on the income that you are getting by just diversifying it, so that, again, no matter what happens in the world, you can always make sure that you're going to have some money coming in.
Right. And so I think you can also have your 9 to 5 job, but that means that you should have 2 more streams of income in addition to your 9 to 5.
Right.
I think it's very difficult, depending on what you're doing. Right? If you're working in tech, you can probably get to $1 million with just your 9 to 5, right? If you're maybe a doctor and you don't have a whole bunch of medical debts, if you're a lawyer, you don't have a whole bunch of law school debts, you can probably get to $1 million without the extra streams. But for the typical nine to fiver, you're going to need that extra income, right? Whether it's, like the Queen said, real estate, a podcast, a side business, your stock investments, crypto, whatever you understand and trust, add those extra 2 streams of income. All right. Do not rely on one, please.
Yeah, because you put your eggs in one basket. Again, you could ask me, like, well, what could possibly happen? There could be a global pandemic, like things you would never think. But don't challenge the universe. That's all I say.
The universe undefeated.
It's undefeated, I promise you. So just plan for the unexpected. Make sure you have multiple streams of income.
Yep. All right, we're into the double digits now. Thanks for rocking with us. If you already have a favorite, go ahead and put that inside the comments, or just say it out loud. Which one is your favorite? Especially if you're driving, don't type, don't comment. Just drive.
Just drive.
Just drive.
Number 10. I like number 10. Move that body.
Hey.
Number 10 is to exercise.
Boom. Yep, it's on there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
In tip-top shape.
Yes. So number 10 is to exercise. Most millionaires, Black millionaires, probably most millionaires in general, are exercising. And I think that, probably most folks who have gotten to the point where they can acquire $1 million understand that your body is your vehicle to success, right? Is part of, I'll say, part of your vehicle to success, but you have to take care of your body. Your body is your brain, that's your mind, that's your, like, you have nothing without a healthy a healthy body to be able to go out into the world and pour into the world, pour into people's cups, help people succeed. You need to have a good body, a healthy body. I think sometimes we take health for granted until something happens, and then we realize that when we don't feel good, when we're not healthy, nothing else really matters.
Yeah, fact. And I think it also comes down to one of your favorite things to say: habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
I think, and this is one of ET's favorite words too. That means habit stacking. Habit stack. But I think when you exercise, you're probably also doing other things, right?
Mhm.
Because you're exercising, you're probably eating well. Because you're exercising, you're maybe waking up earlier or watching less TV or exercising while you're watching TV. So at least it's not idle time, right? When you're exercising, you may be, let's see, what else do you do when you exercise? Listening to a podcast,
Mhm.
right? Or you may be listening to an audio book. So you're able to do multiple things as well. So I think the exercise is one thing, but I think it's the compounding of exercising and whatever else you're also doing that adds to the effect or the power of it.
And I think also, right, number 5 was invest more energy and money into personal growth. So
Hmm.
if you're thinking about personal growth, exercise can also be seen as a form of personal growth, right? It's you work on your mind, you work on your body as well. If I'm able to do 5 push-ups today, exercising and practicing is the way I'm going to be able to get to 50.
Mm.
And that's just
You
another
about to get to
way.
50?
Eventually, heck yes. I don't want to.
Good call.
Thanks. The mic would be on the floor. But yeah, that's just another way, another form of personal growth, I think, is exercising, especially if you have a focus on trying to improve your performance. Right. So again, I'm doing 5 push-ups today, I'm gonna get to 50, or I'm running a mile today and next week I'm gonna do 2. But it's just that I'm like always trying to get better, always trying to do more.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of it as well.
Yep. So y'all heard it here first on June 14th. What's the date today?
It's the 12th.
June 12th. You're welcome. 2022. Sinclair will someday soon do 50 push-ups.
See, you're adding soon, and I'm just let me know if I ever said soon. I don't believe though that came out of my mouth. Eventually, I will do 50 push-ups.
One, Sway.
All right, so number
Ah,
I'm not gonna
someday.
say because you're gonna hold it to. I don't even know how many I can do straight now, so that's why I'm like, let me not put
I
a
think you
time
can
up
do a
there.
solid 23.
23. Wow, you have a lot of faith in me.
You can do 23? I think you can do 23.
I was gonna say 15.
I think you can do 15 easily. I think if you are willing to struggle a little bit and not look cute for a second, usually you look cute,
Thanks, man.
you can do 23.
I think I look cute when I do push-ups.
The first 5, yeah.
After that, it's
All right, let's go. Number,
six.
oh goodness, no, 11.
My name is Sinclair, and I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner who has created a program that takes a deep dive into your hormone levels and your overall metabolic health to create a highly personalized weight loss protocol that will have you lose up to 30 pounds, gain energy, and have you feeling so good that you go into the back of the closet and pull out that freakum dress. We all have one. So if you are ready to invest in the last weight loss program you will ever need, go to queen2queencoaching.com and book a discovery call to figure out which queen to queen package is right for you. Talk to you soon. All right, number 11, volunteer.
Like it.
You gotta give back. You gotta give back to the community, uh to the your family, your friends, whoever. But volunteering is definitely one of those things that most Black millionaires are doing.
Yep. And I think that's a sign of one, humility.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you have to be in I don't know, a position to value others and be selfless in that moment. I'm not gonna get anything out of this. I'm just here giving out toys. I'm just here. You can be doing a photo shoot, volunteering. Sam out in Atlanta used to cut people's hair
Yeah.
for free, volunteering. We do speaking engagements and toy drives for people. I think it's just seeing value in giving to others and like seeing other people happy.
Yep. Been to the food bank, right?
Food bank,
That's
yeah.
becoming a thing of ours.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's important. Also, like it's also, in my opinion, a way of showing gratitude
I like that.
for the things that you have been able to accomplish, for everything that, universe, higher power, God, whoever you believe in. But at the end of the day, you're here because you've been given opportunities, right? So I think that volunteering is an action, is a way to put that energy back into the universe and say
Mhm.
thank you, so that you can continue to not only give back but continue to hopefully receive those blessings as well.
There it is. Go find a way to volunteer, y'all. Go find a way to make someone else happy, give value to someone else out there in the world. Hit us with number 12,
Number
Queen.
12 is take time out to think.
I like that.
Yeah. And I'm going to
I
say
like
think
that.
slash meditate just because I feel like it's basically meditation.
Is meditate on there?
It's not.
Okay, I like it then. Why do you want to add that to the list?
I mean, I didn't add it to the list.
Meditate.
Oh, I just think that, I mean, in the way that it was, I think when you take time out to think, it's really just having focus time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's basically what meditation is. It's just taking that intentional time to go within and, think, focus on whatever, right? There's different forms. So I don't want to black and white and say you're focusing on yourself, but generally you're trying to go within, and whether you're focusing on breathing or your thoughts or goals or whatever, I think it can be a form of meditation.
Yeah. So I like both. I like the time to think because when I think of thinking, I think of how many times you think in one sentence. Is being like strategic and
Mm.
intentional and really thinking about the future. Again, like I think sometimes I'm a reactive person because there's so many things happening, so I'm just reacting all the time, and I don't have time to really sit down and think and be strategic. Once we as a team started to write down our KPIs, right? Our key performance indicators. We started writing down our key results. What do we want to get done each quarter? How are we going to get these things done? What are the assignments? And we like really took intentional time to think and strategize and plan and write things down. Literally, we started seeing things happen.
Yeah.
So if you can, whether it's a vision board, a dream board, the to-do list every single day, like I think all those are forms of intentional thinking. And I separate that from meditation because when I'm meditating, I try not to think intentionally like about business or about plans, but I do envision or let my mind go blank.
Mm.
And I'm trying to either receive messages, whether it's from God, from the universe, I'm trying to receive messages, or I'm trying to create an image, I'm trying to create a future and feel what that future looks like so it motivates me now. Right. So, what was my vision today? Oh, today I was envisioning building uh, a TH4 type center and
Mm.
thing like what would that would feel like to have our own studio, Jair, right? What would it feel like to be able to have this podcast in a studio? I also have a big speaking engagement coming up. So I was like imagining myself in that space and what it felt like to be in that space and getting myself comfortable and ready to be in that space. So I see meditation as kind of like that place in the matrix.
Mm.
I forgot what they called that room, but where you visit and it was Neo and Morpheus and there was like their training ground,
Mm-hmm.
the construct. Thank you, Queen.
Uh-huh.
All right. They call it the construct where you go there and you train, you envision, but and then everything that you do in the construct, you're now able to do in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that when I meditate, I'm practicing, I'm envisioning things that I'm able to do in the future. And then when I come back to this reality, I feel like equipped to do those things now. Right. So again, I'm a strange person. I'm not normal. That's how I meditate. Me and my mom, and I have two amazing moms. I got bonus moms in here. I picked that up from some podcast I was watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started using like, oh, I got bonus kids, I got bonus parents. I was like, I like that language.
Yeah.
I'm gonna adopt that. But we're doing a 21-day meditation challenge.
I like that.
Waking up every single day during the Monday through Friday. It's 5:45 a.m. On the weekends, 7:45. I woke up at 6:45.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But do your meditation. I definitely feel more grounded. I feel a little bit more focused, and all I've really switched up is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
But because I meditate, I stretch. Because I stretch, I do my push-ups. Then after I do my push-ups, I meditate again, and then I end with the tuning fork.
Nice.
So by starting one habit, it's led to four.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So habit stacking.
Long story short. All right, let's move on to number 13. Spend more time planning for investments. I think that's a mouthful. Just I think it's just saying investing, right? You invest more. And I think that this one's important because you need your money to work for you, right? Your money. I think a lot of us grow up thinking that a savings account is the way to, where you put your money, right? You earn it so that it can go into a savings account and you keep it and save it for a rainy day. I think what a lot of folks are now realizing is that that is one way to go, but if you do that, it's only going to grow at what 0.01 or something. It really insignificantly. Whereas if you were to put that money and invest it, now it can work for you. Your money can go out into the world and multiply and grow. And that is how people are really becoming millionaires out there, is taking their savings, taking some of that money and putting it into some form of investment.
Yeah. I also like that it said planning for investment, right?
Mhm.
What was the exact language again?
Spend more time planning for
Right.
investments.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be an investment that you're going to make right now,
Mhm.
right? So if you're like, oh no, I have my savings account, perfect. Have your savings account. It's good to be in the habit of saving $100, $5, whatever you're able to do on a consistent basis. But what's the plan for that money afterwards,
Right.
right? You saved up $5,000, you saved up $10,000. Now, where does that large sum of money go? Because if you don't have a plan for it, it's going to get spent instead of invested,
Mhm.
right? So again, don't think, oh, I need to go invest immediately. No, but you do need to make a plan. We are in a very interesting time of stock markets up and down, cryptocurrency up and down, real estate skyrocketing, mortgage skyrocketing, gas is $13 billion right now, right? So we're in a very interesting time. But what is your plan going to be? What are you
Mhm.
going to do with the funds that you do have access to in the future?
And last thing I just wanted to add is, I think another thing that is, I think ingrained in a lot of us is that once you get that savings, kind of one of the things that you do with it is pay off debts, which is important. But I think it's also important to have your pocket of money that is for specifically for investing. So I'm not saying don't pay off your debts, like pay off your student loans, pay off your credit card debts, do that, but also put aside some money for investing. I think that that's super important for anybody, right? It can be any amount of money. Start off with $5 if that's all you have, but start it now so that next month it can be 10. And then after a year, you can have money that you put into the stock market. Like anywhere, wherever you are in your financial journey, you can start planning for investments.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to add there?
We slightly differ on the whole credit card debt situation.
You think you should just pay it all off?
So I don't think you should necessarily always pay it all off, but I think you should be intentional about the decision. Um, Most credit cards are going to be like, if it's a good one, 15, 13% interest. So most of the ones are like 19, 20, 23% interest. So sometimes it can be more beneficial to pay off your credit cards, because paying off your debt faster and avoiding a 19% interest is the same as investing and getting a 19% return, right? And a 19% return is really good. Like if you can find an investment that gets you a 19% return consistently, that's a really good return. That's what the credit card is doing with your money, right? You owe them 19% more every single month because you didn't pay it down. So now you're owing more and more money. Owing more and more money is the inverse opposite of gaining more and more money. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right. So I do 100% agree with what the queen said as far as you should have a savings set up, be intentional about it. Thing where I'm like, not always is the whole credit card thing. Sometimes I think it is beneficial to pay off the credit card faster, because that ends up sometimes more money in your pocket than just saving it for a long period of time.
And I just think you need to be careful not to get into the mindset of just because I mean, I think the problem is that people are like, you pay it and then you spend, and then you pay it and then you spend. So now you're just in this ever never ending thing of just trying to pay off your credit card. Again,
Mhm,
you're never going to be able to get to that status if that's all you're doing.
mhm.
So yes, we differ in opinion on that.
We
So
do. We do.
there it is.
Last,
Find your spot.
no, number, we're on 14 or
14.
15? 14. This could be the best one.
Separate themselves from the herd.
Might be the best
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So I like this because unfortunately it's very easy, me included. You get around, a group of people to then act like that group of people,
Hmm.
right? Whether it's who you're following on social media, what you're watching on TV, the friends that you're around. I think, as you say this very often, we are community people, we're herd people. Like we were, go ahead,
We're social
say your line.
beings.
Go ahead.
It's just like we're social beings. We were made to interact with each other
Yeah.
back when, and I usually say back when, but there are still civilizations that are hunter gatherers. Sorry, there are still civilizations that are hunter gatherers today. But for like we are meant to survive in groups. Like when we had to go out and hunt for our food, and we weren't in today's technological society, where everything is brought to us. You had to be in a tribe or a village to survive. So that is how we have adapted to surviving. It is, you have to interact with other people. And that's even where I think that's why social media is so thriving right now, is because we have that innate desire to be accepted by those around us, because again, that meant survival at some point in our human history.
Mhm. Yeah. So if you can sometimes go against our nature, go against the natural psychology and momentum, I think that's where you add the most value. For example, one of the biggest fears of humans is
Public speaking.
public speaking. But there are people making millions becoming public speakers because they're separating themselves from the herd.
Mhm,
There's people out there getting $50,000, $100,000 out there just to get on stage and do what most people are afraid of,
mhm.
right? And I see the same thing kind of with even reality TV. I don't watch the Kardashians. I don't like reality TV at all. But here's the thing, most people are private and they don't want people to know what's happening inside of their home.
Mhm,
So the people who go against that natural inkling, whether it's starting a podcast, a YouTube channel, influencers, or a reality TV show, they're kind of going against the norm.
mhm.
They're letting people see all of their business. They're letting people see the good, the bad, the ugly, the nice houses, the luxury. And because they're going against it, they're being rewarded with that value, right? So it doesn't always have to be reality TV show like bad stuff, but I think being able to separate yourself from the herd and be uniquely you.
Yeah.
Don't try to fit in, don't try to fit the mold of something. Like be the weird, quirky, health, nerdy, dancing, corny person from the past, person that you are, and that is what's going to attract people and bring the value into your life.
What's coming to mind to me is, for me, is that when you're starting a business, I think what stops a lot of people is the like, somebody's already doing that. Well, that
Mhm.
already exists. And it's probably true. Like, you're probably not the first person to come up with whatever idea you've come up with. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't act on it, because all you need to do is set yourself apart.
Mhm.
Right? So if I wanted to start a coffee company, there are a million and one coffee companies out there that right now. That doesn't mean I shouldn't start a coffee company, but that does mean that I need to find some way to set myself apart. That's usually why the companies that are still around right now are successful, is at some point, at the birth of their company, or at the start of that industry, at the, when that started booming or whatever, they set themselves apart in some way, shape, or form. Right? The iPhone, why was that so popular? It was really the first smartphone. Right? It was different. It was, and I don't know, I guess I don't know if it was the first smartphone, but it was different.
BlackBerry was the first.
Okay, it was different. Right? It was like one. I know you're a hater.
Huh? No, I was trying to think if it was BlackBerry or Sony Ericsson,
Oh,
but yeah, it definitely was an iPhone.
got you. But it was different, right? It was sleek. It had a new design. It had
Full
all of the,
screen.
yeah, all of full screen, had all the icons on one. It was different, and then it blew up. But yeah, long story short, I think it definitely is beneficial to be against the herd, but I also think it's almost necessary to get to this point, because the truth is that living, especially living in America, it's not set up for everybody to become millionaires.
Mm,
So, how do you become one of the few, right? They call it the 1% for a reason. How do you become part of the 1%? It's not by doing what everybody else is doing,
mm,
because what are you going to do? How are you going to become if you do what everybody else is doing? You're going to become like everybody else. And most folks, 99% of the people, right, are not uh, you know, well off. Most people are living check to check. Like, that is I think, the reality in this country. So, I mean, and in most countries, sadly. But I think knowing that is, you have to set yourself apart. You have to be willing to do what other people won't, in order to get the results that other people don't, that other people get. Don't get. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yep. Two quick things. One, immediately on that, be willing to put on that weight. We talked about this at Black Future Month. Be willing to put on that weight. Be willing to do what others aren't willing to do, so that you can go back and help them.
Mm,
Right. So don't be that person that gets to a million, gets to a billion, and then you're just chilling. You're in your castle. You got hopefully your family, your people with you, and you're like, all right, I'm good.
right.
No, the other things on the list were volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
give value to other people.
Yep.
Right. So you still do that. Get to your million by being different, by being unique, by being you. And then go back, help your mom, help your uncles, help your cousins, help your friends that you grew up with get to where you're at as well. Number two, the thing that you said about coffee, Starbucks was not the first coffee shop.
Right. It's not the
Right.
first. That's
Is
typically the survivor.
right. Yeah, kind of. Right. Uh, I got too many books in my head.
Okay.
That's the issue. But there is the law of first, that usually the first people in there have the strongest brand. But with Starbucks specifically, they definitely weren't the first, but they were the kind of the first coffee shop to start offering a whole bunch of different types of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Other coffee shops were like general stores where you can buy pizza, you can buy burgers, you can get coffee, you can get pancakes, you can get a whole bunch of stuff. They're a coffee shop, but they sell everything. Starbucks is like, we sell coffee. We sell hot coffee, cold coffee, blended coffee, iced coffee, coffee, right? So now everyone who wanted coffee, they're going to go to Starbucks, right? Because it's unique, it's different, and it is deep within its brand. Become Starbucks, my friend.
Become Starbucks.
Yes.
All right. Anything to add for that one?
No, ma'am. Round us off with number 15.
Drum roll, please. Oh,
Brrrr.
you're probably gonna like this one too. Ask for feedback.
I do like that one.
Yes. So if you think about the average person, probably doesn't want a whole bunch of opinions on what they're doing, right? You want to be able to live your life without hearing the peanut gallery, giving their opinions on what you're doing. But when you're trying to gain that millionaire status, I mean, especially in the world of entrepreneurship specifically,
Yeah.
You literally have to ask for feedback. Otherwise, you could be putting out a product, you could be putting out a service that nobody wants, right? And at the end of the day, if you are trying to sell something that people want, you need to make sure that it's meeting the needs of some community, right?
Right.
Whoever your customer, your audience group is, you need to make sure that you're meeting those needs, so that when you put out that product or that service, there's someone out there that goes, "Ah, oh, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I'm gonna buy this."
Yeah, love it. I don't think I have too much to add to it other than it's gaining other perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just because you ask for, like, I do this all the time. Like, I'll ask Sinclair for something, and then she'll give me feedback and be like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that. Right. But there's other times where I'm like, huh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's a different perspective. That's a different angle. And I think that's what it's about when you're trying to gain success, when you're trying to gain value or be valuable to other people. You need to be able to hear other perspectives and understand their perspectives,
Mhm.
right? Now that we are like teachers, right? We are a education based company in almost everything that we do. It's important for us to understand different people's perspectives while we teach. That's why we have, we'll have some slides up. Sometimes we have videos, we have music and graphics because people learn differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love asking for feedback because I love getting the different perspectives. I don't, again, always listen and take action on the feedback, but I at least hear it, I welcome it, and then if I think, oh, okay, no, I think that's valuable. I think we can use that pivot. Boom, I'll put it in there, and now the product is that much better. Case in point, really quickly, board game.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yep, board game. First edition of the board game, no prototype of the board game. We're giving it out to people for feedback. One of the families is like, okay, this is a cool game, but we can't tell the differences between these businesses, right? There's different colors. Yes, shout out playblackwallstreet.com. Go ahead and get yourself a game. But there's different colors for different businesses, but we can't tell the difference. And I was like, what you mean you can't tell the difference? They're different colors. And the family was like, we're colorblind.
Poof.
Oh, right. Whole different perspective that being an able-bodied and able-eyed person never thought about. So now, because that one family gave us feedback, we took action on that feedback. added icons to all the businesses. Now, other colorblind families out there are able to play the game, enjoy the game because of the feedback from one person, right? So, get feedback, folks.
Like that's why you I feel like on your apps at some point they always give you a little like, hey, are you enjoying the app, right? Because they
Yep.
want that feedback so that they can improve their app, improve their service, whatever, be something that you not only buy into but stay with. um the last thing I will add is, I think one way that I struggle is I'm getting more comfortable asking for the feedback, but I sometimes don't always know how, like, what to do after that. Like,
Mm,
okay, I have all these opinions and nobody agrees. So, like, what do I do now? And I think that it's the asking for feedback I think it's what Devon said, the just getting the different perspectives so that you're making an educated decision,
mhm.
right? It's not just throwing some pasta at the wall and trying to figure out what sticks. It's um
Very chef analogy there.
you know it's actually like, okay, well, 23% of the folks said they liked this, so we're going to go ahead and cater to that group, and go with that option or whatever. But it's all like data, right? It's education, it's knowledge for you to use and consider when you're making the decision, so that you're not just making it blind and then having to react to it afterwards. You're kind of going in kind of knowing like, okay, not everybody's going to like this decision, but we know at least this group of people is vibing with this or whatever it is.
Mm,
So, don't let the feedback after you get it kind of paralyze you. Still move forward, make a decision. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Like, that's moral of the story that I think I've learned from asking for feedback is, I feel like sometimes we always think like, oh, it's going to be like majority one answer. Like, it's just going to be, oh, like, here's the answer. And it's never usually like that, right?
never.
If you give everybody A through D, you're going to have a whole mix of people,
And
and
a
you're going to
couple
have
Z's.
and a
Like, I
couple,
didn't even give you
right?
that option.
Right. And you're just kind of have to know, like, okay, based on this information, we are making this decision.
Yep.
Quite honestly, we did ask for some feedback on the name of our new podcast. Not everybody wanted the M4 show, but
It's a
we
fact.
but we looked at the results, and we had the conversation with ourselves and said, you know what, we know not everybody may think this is the best name, but this is the name we're going to go with, and we both feel confident that we chose the right name for us.
Yep.
M Force, get it.
All that. Okay, beautiful people. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Those are the 15 habits of Black millionaires. Feel free to put inside the comments which one you like the most. Queen, let's go through the one that you like the most and the one that you think is going to be the hardest for you to adopt as you become a millionaire. For me, as you
Thank you.
meander, the one that I like the most is helping others succeed. I think that's something that I really love to do. That's why we created the podcast. That's why we created the board game. That's why we're doing a lot of the stuff that we're doing is to be able to help and be of service to others. So I love that one. I think I can get in trouble with that one very easily with giving
Mm-hmm.
myself up too
Yes.
much or giving stuff up too much, but that's the one that I think is comes natural and I like the most. The one that I think is the hardest, particularly in a beautiful marriage, I think is the no TV.
Mm,
I think a lot of the stuff that we do is like we'll go to the drive-in or we'll
yeah.
have movie nights and I love movies, but you also love movies. So like
Mm-hmm.
it gets hard to limit the amount of TV that we're watching. And I think we're at a pretty good balance now, but I can definitely see that being still difficult to keep up long term.
Yeah. For me, I would say my favorite one is to separate yourselves from the herd.
Mm,
Um, just because I think that if I think back to the successes that I have had in throughout my life, it typically has not been for being the best. It's typically been for being different. So like I one of the main things coming to my mind right now is, being a competitive dancer throughout most of my childhood. Thanks. Throughout most of my childhood, the most notable kind of award I ever got was ninth place in the Dancer of the Year, competition, which was a really big deal. And it's one of those things that I just always participated in just because. I technically was never the best dancer, so I didn't really ever expect to place, but it was just fun to participate in this thing. and everybody from our studio typically did. But this year I got ninth, and it was like it was a crazy. I did not
Mm.
expect that, but the reason that I even placed was because everybody was doing like lyrical, like contemporary pieces, and everybody was really good, but everybody was the same. Everybody was doing the same stuff. And I came in with this sassy jazz number,
Hey,
right? And there was something different. It was a different type of energy. And, after sitting for hours, the judges probably just liked to be entertained, right?
yeah.
And so that's what set me apart. And so that has kind of been a microcosm for a lot of different things in my life when it can be a little bit intimidating to try to be the best, right? To try to be the best health coach. But what I can do is try to be different so that I don't have to compare myself to every other coach. Right. If I'm different, then I'm in a league of my own, and I don't have to necessarily worry about being the best. But yeah, that's why I like that one. The other reason I like that one is because it's something that I have to remind myself in those moments where it's like, oh, maybe things aren't happening as quickly, or you're looking at everybody else on vacation, or driving their fancy cars, or whatever it is, and you're like, dang, I'm not able to do that right now, but it's because of sacrifices that I'm making, or we've chosen to make for a brighter future, to reach the goals that we've set for ourselves. So I think that those are things that I have to remind myself. I'm like, yeah, okay, everybody else may be doing this, but we've chosen not to for this reason, because we're trying to get a result that maybe not everybody is able to attain. So that's my favorite. For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and circle back to the one that I said I
No
didn't have.
sleep. Oh.
No, I mean that one I've done before. Like, I've been through many times where I didn't get that much sleep, so I don't say that one's really hard for me. It's really not my favorite one, but the one that's hardest for me is tracking my spending. It's just not a thing for me. It's not something I even want to do. So yeah, that's definitely the one I struggle with the most.
Gotcha. And appreciate the affirmation in the comments. Someone said, "Love this finger snaps." Yes,
Thank you, thank you,
appreciate you.
thank you.
So there you go. Figure out which one out of the 15. If you need to rewind, rewatch, definitely go ahead and do it. But which one of the 15 feels natural for you, and you can kind of double down and like really own as a habit, and then which one should you start intentionally working on a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for me, TV is one of them. For the queen, tracking the budget is another one that we're gonna work on a little bit for us, so we can become melanated married millionaires.
Let's go.
And drop that in the making.
Millionaires track their spending.
Let's do it. So as we wrap up, Queen, give folks updates. What's popping in your life or in business?
I will be very brief here. As always, we have our 90-day weight loss formula for anybody out there who's trying to get that summer body, trying to lose weight, trying to feel good, trying to look so good that you're going to want to go to the back of the closet and pull out that little dress, that little black dress, or maybe it's a little red dress. It's a freakum dress regardless. We all got one. You're going to feel so good that you're going to want to put that on and wear it with confidence. So if you're wanting to know more about that program, it is a 90-day program. You can go to queencoaching.com. And schedule a discovery call with me. That's where we'll just have a conversation and make sure that the program is right for you and you're right for the program. Because I always say, I'm not just going to take your money. I'm not that type of gal. I'm not that type of entrepreneur. I want to make sure I'm going to get you results, because you are going to be a walking billboard for the success of this program. And so I want to make sure that it's going to work for you. And we are both going to be happy at the end of this. So queen2queencoaching.com. Also at that website, you can you can find a link to our free weight loss accountability group. So if you're not ready to invest in a coaching program yet, come and join our free weight loss accountability group. All you can bring your habits you're already trying to adopt, and all we do is help you stay accountable to those habits. So Queen to Queen Coaching, click on the link that says free weight loss accountability group, and we will see you in the Telegram group.
Get you a mentor, move your body, exercise, right? So all those things Queen can help you out with. Well done. On my side, I want to focus in on Play Black Wall Street. Again, that's www.playblackwallstreet.com. If you are interested in getting your family a family fun board game where they can learn about Black history, wealth, finances, and the real businesses of Tulsa's Black Wall Street all within one family game, go ahead and go to playblackwallstreet.com and get yourself a game. If you want to take the experience one step further, the Queen has organized a beautiful trip for us all to go out to Tulsa at the end of July to experience the history firsthand, to walk the streets of Greenwood firsthand, to visit and support the businesses that are still there and be a part of the legacy, be a part of the history. So again, go to playblackwallstreet.com, get yourself a board game, and sign up for our Greenwood adventure at the end of July. We'll see you in Black Wall Street. All right. So Queen, this was a good one.
Yes.
I'm excited to become a millionaire with you.
I am too. You jinxed us
Why?
earlier. You said this is.
Oh yeah, I definitely did. At the beginning, I was like, "Ooh, this could be a," and I didn't say it. I don't want to jinx it. This was definitely an hour and 13. Jair, you know we tried.
You said this is gonna be a shorter. I said, "Don't you do it." It's always those that end up being 3 hours.
Oh yeah, because we wish we be talking, and it's in my head a good conversation. Hopefully, y'all think it's also a good conversation, and you keep tapping in with us. All right. Next week, hopefully, we'll have our trust person on here.
Nice.
Right, the notary, to talk about how to create a living trust or will for you to be able to pass down that wealth.
Yep.
Right. This episode was about the habits that can get you to the wealth, get you to the million. Next episode, we'll talk about how do you then pass on that million to your kids or to whoever else you want to gift, you want to bless. Okay, Queen, you good?
Great.
All right, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another beautiful, impactful, generational wealth building episode of the M4 Show. My name is Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful, amazing, melanated, golden health nerd queen herself.
I'm Sinclair, aka the health nerd.
Make sure y'all stay healthy, secure the bag, secure yourself, secure the love, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 Show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening. Go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.